Okay. Well, that's out of place. What's going on here? Hopefully my mic works. After the boy tried to destroy it yesterday. We'll try that. Okay. Oh, I don't have any music going. Put this up here. Oh, that's weird. But where is it? Well, that's just the audio, that's why. Weird, whatever. Corvus, welcome in. Probably welcome in as well. Both quiet. That's okay. The boy is asleep, which is good. It only took me almost an hour, but here we are. Got to make sure everything works today. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's a squiggly day, apparently. Do 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 loop do 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 loop. I'm trying to get the boy in the habit of eating at 11, playing for a little bit, and then taking a nap. So we'll see if we can get that going. We can start streaming around noon every day. But gotta run around outside, gotta play with some cars. And then he decided to want to play with my computer, and we had a big fight. He had to scream at me for a while.
I love how you're trying to like treat him like a kindergartner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to treat a 1-year-old.
It's just the something that we did when I was working at the school was wean the kids off naps.
I can see that around kindergarten, right? Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wean him on.
We didn't have naps in kindergarten, so.
Oh, I did. So.
No. I was like genuinely shocked that like, wait, y'all do naps in kindergarten?
See,
well, yeah, no, we were.
Sorry, yeah. Well, I didn't have preschool though, like, so I don't know if that's maybe a. For us, kindergarten was like a half day.
Yeah, school. No, that's preschool for us.
Gotcha. I'm actually here for
kindergarten is in with normal elementary schoolers.
Yeah,
so like how it's mostly done, at least on the East Coast here.
Yeah, for me, kindergarten was at the elementary school, but it was half a day, in the morning or afternoon, and then yeah, we still had naps, but I didn't nap, so I got yelled at a lot. I wanted nap time in high school. Yep. Bri, you're welcome to add a suggestion if you want. Is it wrong that I'm naming my kittens after horrible moments in history? Depends on which one, to be totally honest. And actually, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I would say yes. I would say that is wrong. I remember when I was in college, there was a meme going around because this kid taught his dog to like do the schmatzy salute, and like the internet chewed him a new one, and rightfully so. Those are pretty old, Sieg, so maybe not Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl's. There are people still alive today that remember Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And were like personally affected by it, so maybe not.
I'm of a stance that you shouldn't name things after places. And I don't really have a good reason for that. I don't think it's necessary.
Unless that place happened to be named after a person first.
Sure.
Then I guess that's fine.
There's a Modest Mouse song. To go eat. We named our children after towns that we've never been to.
Weird.
Yeah. What is this guy's name and what is he? I'm pretty new to the channel and I love him. He's one of your drawings. Yeah, Elliot. So this is Rugby. Rugby is a goblin. He's a goblin wearing a rug that was made out of a bugbear. So he's a tiny goblin cosplaying a bugbear.
Yep.
I know that sounds weird, but here's what it is.
The early days of this channel were weird. That is where he was spawned from. Yep. So,
welcome in, Druid.
Hi.
I was not here when Rugby was made. Like I was in the channel, I just was not here that day.
Bro, thank you for the thank you for the membership.
I came back and was just like, what is this thing?
Yep. Leif, welcome in. I think Sieg was the first one here.
Yep.
Did you already get a thing drawn this week? What was your suggestion this week? Maybe the first one in should be a little mini commission. So give me a really simple suggestion. He sounds awesome. He's pretty fun. I like Rugby.
Canonically, he's never drawn with arms because we do not know if he has arms.
Oh, I know if he has arms. I'm just not going to tell anybody.
Yeah,
Brian,
exactly.
Sorry, you must have missed it. I said go ahead and suggest it. You're very welcome to. You're welcome to suggest something now. Dragon Week. Ooh, what's going on with Dragon Week? He does have dual mage hands. We've seen that.
Yep.
He is some kind of magically inclined goblin. That seems right for today. It's a whole thing with D&D YouTube creators. Well, I'm out of the loop apparently. So.
Yeah, Point Hat just released a video of how to play playable dragons.
Well, I already did that, so.
Yeah, a long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
Yeah, but you didn't put a free PDF for it, so.
Is that what's going on? I'm not giving people free PDFs. Depends on the amount of human wrongdoing involved. I mean, I'm of the mind that meme names for cats and stuff is just not fun. But you troll how you're gonna troll, I guess. You know, I'm opposed to it. Doesn't mean you have to take my opinion or do anything with it. So. Alcohol's not so bad. Request a Skittermander? Yep, we can do that. Put a Skittermander on the list. As soon as I find the list again. Skittermander. There we go. I think I'm just gonna jump into it today. See what we got.
Sounds good.
3. Big beefy dragonfly man. Dragonfly man barbarian.
That one sounds like it was for me.
You could have had this.
No. I don't think that I can draw today.
Oh, okay.
I'm not feeling great.
Howard.
Too much exercise?
Probably. My hormones are definitely off. I did not sleep well last night, and I think the thing that has changed is starting weightlifting again. So yeah, maybe I did too many deadlifts yesterday.
Dragons are a girl's best friend. Wow. Yep, out of the loop. In the spirit of Dragon Week that I'm realizing is also a thing, can I add a suggestion for a Dragonborn Dragon Blood Sorcerer? Sure. Do that. Dragon Blood. It's alright, Sig. Did you get it last week too? Is that what happened? People just have to try harder. If you want to give me a quick suggestion, I'll draw something, but you didn't respond before, so I was moving on.
Moving swiftly on.
What do dragonflies look like? That's the question. Terrifying.
If you're another insect.
They've got 2 crystal balls on their faces, basically.
I finally got the game back up and running.
Again?
Again, yeah. And I'm now realizing that I might have to break it another time. But, see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not good at talking to other D&D creators. They've never been good at networking.
That's why when you get a little bit bigger, you should pay someone to network for you. I'm not volunteering. I probably could do it. But
Like, I did the D&D roundtable for a little while, but not to sound like a hipster, I don't jive well with other people.
that's not a hipster thing. That just means you're a loner.
I'm a little bit of a loner. It's not like I dislike other people, or I'm just
You're also
I'm just a bad friend.
This is not a dig at all the D&D creators, but there was a sharp rise of them due to the certain controversy, and that's just not you.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not a.
You don't report the news of D&D.
I'm not a bandwagon groupie, I guess. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't easily get swayed by stuff. Because my opinions are kind of moot. Nothing wrong with being an introvert. Yeah, look at me, call me Bob.
Opportunist.
What was that, Druid?
You just
never
stopped
finished
talking.
you never finished your thought. You said, I'm not a,
Oh.
You literally just trailed off like old man went to sleep.
Yep.
Weird.
So I suggested opportunist might be the word you were searching for.
I think yeah, maybe not. I don't readily jump on. Yeah,
Maybe
opportunist
it's
is fine. We can go with opportunist.
Or internet or something.
Yeah, I think it was the internet because I think I made up a word
Yep.
and it didn't make sense.
Uh-oh.
Kraken week was last week. Gotcha. Follow you for content that's not Paizo or Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. It's like I don't do sponsorship stuff, and like specifically, like I love playing D&D, but I don't really give a crap about what WotC's bullshit.
Yep.
So. I'm trying to think of a term for it. There was a term for the type of media that like became popular around when WotC started doing all that stuff that was like sensationalism. I'm not big into sensationalism. So when there's a controversy, it's like I'm just going to ignore it instead of giving it my time. I don't think this looks like a dragonfly.
It looks like a spider.
It looks like a spider. Yeah, let's start over. Let's try this.
Dragonflies don't have any fluff.
Let's get a good shape. Let's get a good shape here. There's also the first one you posted and the second one you posted have different eye structures.
That's because what Atomic posted is a damselfly, not a dragonfly.
Gotcha.
And I think it was a meme in response to me saying that they had two crystal balls on their faces.
Gotcha. No neck. No neck. This thing's supposed to be beefy too, so we'll have to figure that out.
I think didn't you do like a were dragonfly druid?
Yeah, I believe so.
Ooh.
If it's safe, share it for Rick.
I'm not trendy. That's fair. Yeah.
Let me see
And
my.
like, honestly, there were D&D creators before all that stuff. It's just there was a big uptick of them because of all the controversy. Like people like Jenny D and like Pointy Hat, they were around before all that stuff happened. And
Yeah.
they're fine people.
And like I got my inkling to do D&D content and watching Joe Cat videos. I really liked his something guide, crap guide.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
which is really funny because like he originally did that as a Monster Hunter thing and then went to D&D. And I'm like, hey, I like D&D. I can do D&D content. So.
And did Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. It's a funny dude. He is a funny dude. Sig said
Back to Monster Hunter now.
Dragon Choice, a
Yeah.
Kobold Gunslinger would be too much artillery. Sure, I can do that next. We'll do that one next. I'm happy the Joe Cat stayed. Yeah, I mean, I think he took a very well, maybe not well deserved, but like him taking a break was smart. He needed to get away from the internet. So.
Well, like I don't think he's basically just stopped making YouTube channels. He only like live streams anymore.
Yeah.
So that was mainly where a lot of the annoyances was coming from.
The internet hit him real hard, real fast.
Yep.
Yeah, over something real stupid.
Well, just in general. Like, I mean, like, he got really popular all of a sudden. And he brought a whole bunch of people with him. Like, they had a big group of D&D content creators that kind of launched each other into space.
Right.
And then the internet started being a dick, which, like, I think it just happens.
Yeah.
And I don't think Joe Cat was ready for that. And so he did the smart thing and he took a break. And now he's back to his own schedule doing what he wants, and that's great. So...
I think also why we don't see Puffin Forest anymore. I think he just lives entirely on the patrons.
Yeah, I don't know.
think he said he had a large enough audience, and then he
Doesn't need YouTube advertisement anymore.
exactly said, "Okay, you guys are my people. We're gonna go this way, and as long as you keep supporting me, I'll keep making stuff for you and no one else."
That's funny.
He still puts out the occasional video on YouTube, like whenever he tries a new system or something, but or whenever he wants to like complain about an old system or highlight an old system,
Which is a valid use.
yeah, totally. And it's like it's very funny, and I enjoy seeing it. But I also am like, you know what, dude, that was very smart move.
He became a VTuber. Yeah, that's true. Use game as a creation outlet more than a content engine. Yeah, I definitely should, and could do more content, but I'm a lazy fuck. So.
Relatable.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Jonas. I have 3 really good video ideas right now that I'm mulling about with, and hopefully I'll actually get them done. How are you doing, Jonas?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I only had one
good.
tantrum to deal with today, so that was good.
Oh, how nice.
So far.
So far, the day is young. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Thanks, it.
For you guys, yes.
the boy has discovered that instead of like whining and crying and then like eventually fever pitching to full-blown tantrum, he can just start here, and just so as soon as I like set him on the floor because I don't want to hold him anymore, he just immediately goes tea kettle, just like bap. It's like, well, cool. It's not a good vibe. I was talking
It
to
is
someone.
pretty typical child intelligence progression, though.
Yeah, like I was talking to some of my friends who have lots of kids. Like one of them has 4 or 5, and the other one has 1, I guess. So maybe not him, but but he's basically saying like, well, every kid's different, but that sounds completely normal. Like it's just they have no way of regulating their emotions, and when they don't like something, they will let you know. So that's where we're at.
Sounds about right.
It always just blows me away how he can go from being super, super pissed off and screaming his brains out to like something will catch his attention. He's just like, oh, that's cool. And it's like, cool. So you're not really mad. You're just losing your mind.
Well, he's not old enough for the trauma to have set in yet, so.
There's no trauma. You put me on the floor. I didn't like it.
I now have abandonment issues for the rest of my existence, and it's your fault.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I have abandonment issues, and for like completely unfounded abandonment issues. So it might just be genetic. And this kid might just be broken already. I require lots of attention. Makes sense.
I have
I remember when I was really little, my dad like pulled over the car, got out of the car to check a tire because he thought it was loose, and I jumped out of the car, and then he got back in the car and then he drove away, and that like scarred me forever.
Oof.
And I was talking to it about him when I was later, and he's like, the car moved like half a foot, like we didn't drive away. I took it out of
Doesn't
park.
sound totally unfounded for a kid, okay?
Right. He's like, the car barely moved. Like, I took it out of park, and I realized you weren't there, and that was it. Like, the whole family was here. This took place in less than like 30 seconds, because you got out of the car when I got into the car, and then your mother said, "Hey, wait," and that was it. And I was like, well, that's not how I remember it.
Nope. Because it was a trauma.
Trauma. Yeah. Brennan, thank you for this.
Children is very different.
I want to break down and start content creation, but I don't. But I know it will fuel my narcissism tenfold. That's possible, or it will completely crush you. Both of those things are legitimate. One more time, tablet, and you're gonna find out there's a board cut.
Because Bry's tablet's been dropping Discord.
Ah. I wasn't bad. I feel like I would have done well living off the land. Just go feral child. This kid, I'm discovering that this kid loves being outside and eating dirt, so he might just live on the
Right.
porch. I have a completely fenced in backyard, so I'm not like throwing him into the road.
Yeah.
But
Be careful, he may end up like me with worms in his guts.
that's true. Yep. That's a good possibility. He may or may not have already tried to eat deer poop, so we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
That's got to be full of bad stuff, right?
Yes, but
Probably.
the dirt might be more dangerous, depending.
Yeah. You do
But
live in a
it
city.
depends.
He climbed into the window and ate a potted plant.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
In the course of like 20 seconds, he climbed into the window and ate a potted plant. And I was just like, well, now I have to move everything
thinks
so you
he's
can't
a
climb
deer.
into the window.
No wonder there was an 80% death chance for kids back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Did you get that fixed? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I did.
Just learning their emotions only have like 2-year-olds when is convincing from helping to learning how their own independence such as fun time. Yeah, like currently my kid's still at like independent play. Like if I try to play near him, he's either just like, "What are you doing? Give me that." Doesn't really want me to play with him yet. So there's a lot of me just wandering around following him, making sure he doesn't die.
I still think that that's the way why he behaves the way he does when you try to hold him and he gets up on your desk. He doesn't want he wants to play with all the stuff you're playing with.
Yeah,
Right?
no, that's exactly what it is. Like he climbs up on my desk and he wants to he's mimicking what I'm doing. He's like, "Oh, I get to play on the keyboard. I get to draw on the tablet." But then he like bangs the pen into the tablet and it's like, "You don't get to play with that because that's gonna break." And then he screams. He's just like, "No, that's my thing." Or he'll start slapping the keyboard. It's like, "You don't get to touch the keyboard." And then he starts screaming. It's like, "Kid, I get it. I get it. You're still not allowed to do these things."
Just be careful, you may end up waking him up, so.
Yeah.
Inside voice.
Oh,
Maybe we'll finally get him to sleep in the bed, which is good. He's got his own little bed in the bedroom. So. When he was a baby, I just made him sleep on the floor. Like I built a little nest for him on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked out fine. And then he got wise to it. He was just like, "Oh, if you put me on the floor, I'm gonna fall asleep." I think that's probably why he doesn't want to be put down ever. If you put me down, I'll die.
The floor is lava.
I don't want to stop existing. Okay, how can I make this guy more barbarian-ish? I'm gonna give him a big old axe for sure.
Paris.
Furs? We can give him furs. Maybe like right here.
Talismans, maybe. Depends. What kind of barbarian culture are you going for?
I didn't say. I just said
Whatever.
dragon.
Dragonfly.
Yeah.
There will definitely be a speed barbarian.
I rage into the air. You what now? Rage into the air.
You can do that. That is an actual mechanic.
There's a flight for raging.
Yeah.
Nice.
Totem Barbarian Eagle. When you rage, you can fly.
That's pretty awesome. Wrestling
You
belt?
just have to like
That was
end your
belt.
turn on the ground or you'll fall.
Yeah.
Still flight.
You're so angry you fly. I've never seen anyone select it though.
Because the bear talismans or totems too good.
Having resistance to elemental damage is just, great.
I still think that's kind of bullshit. Like the instantaneous falling is bullshit. I don't like it.
Yeah, same.
Because it happens because of the way that turn is parsed, right? Like everybody goes in order and does their 6-second stint, but this is all taking place within 6 seconds. So even though you're going first, your flight, if you fly straight up 30 feet, should start here. That should take the whole 6 seconds. So on the next round, you're 30 feet up. If you don't continue flying, then you should spend that 6 seconds falling. That's the way I see it. Yeah, because like, if you're only taking this much time, then you have five additional. Everyone else is just standing around while you're falling. Like that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. So.
Well, neither does this whole 6-second thing make sense to me either. Just saying.
Yeah, just go for it.
It doesn't make sense when so everyone is sprinting 30 feet if they take their full movement. Okay,
give or take.
That's
sure.
pretty fast. And then people are doing, if you're a fighter at higher levels, doing what, 4 attacks, 5 attacks for some. Like there is a suspension of disbelief because it's like none of this stuff would happen in 6 seconds, ever.
You think it should be a longer time frame?
Theoretically, yes.
Okay, that's
because
fair.
it doesn't. So 1 minute is 10 rounds. So that's. I think part of it is also how long real life people take their turn, because unless you're a fighter who's just going to, I roll to attack, that's it.
I need healing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is taking at least a minute or two just to read the stuff that they're doing out loud to the rest of the party.
That's funny. I think 4 attacks in 6 seconds is very slow for a fighter.
It's kind of the same thing with archery. I'm not a quick archer, and if I want to forgo my accuracy, which would be the multiple attack penalty, right? I can fire quite a few arrows. Maybe not in 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's it's
I
possible.
I think I could get 3. I think I could get 3 if I had a good quiver, or if I was holding the arrows. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you were trained to be a speed archer,
Yeah,
it's totally doable. But it's not everyone's trained to be a speed archer.
Well, I also think that's the point of leveling, right? Not everybody can shoot, especially with the difference between the martial classes and the spellcasters. What they're saying is that a normal person can shoot 1 arrow in 6 seconds, or swing an axe 1 time in 6 seconds. And I think part of that is also not just repetitive slashes, but getting yourself ready, swinging, and then resetting so that you can do something again next turn, right? So it might take an untrained person 6 seconds to do that, and then now we're playing with people that are well trained and have speciality to them. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could
real life.
Yeah, I feel like you could forgo the actual 1 round is 1 round is a turn, and not worry about the actual seconds of it. I think that's just there to help. This spell lasts a minute. It's well, what if it just lasted 10 turns? I think it is.
Which
just...
I think will be better if they did it like that, turns instead of minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I think it is just to help people kind of figure out. It's about 6 seconds. It's to help them give people a regular time frame that they can wrap their head around.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This might just be because my brother is an astrophysicist, and we actually deal with math at my table. But there have been many times where I have appreciated having the time and the time around takes like broken down so that we could actually figure our shit out.
I think it's really
So I
funny
like-
when you look at things like Baldur's Gate, when you're playing Baldur's Gate, because something lasts for 10 minutes. But the thing is, like, Baldur's Gate time scaling is not linear or static. It's based on movement. So you have something that lasts a minute, which is 10 rounds, which is technically X amount of feet that your character can move to calculate that time. And it's like, oh, that's weird. So, and that's because they want to give you the time to pause and think about it, right? Like, you can just stand there for an infinite amount of time, and that timer doesn't tick down until your character uses some kind of action. So,
Yeah.
so I think it's a good thing to have to give people a sense of scope, but then I also like that maybe you can also just look at it as timed actions instead of actual seconds, which I think makes more sense.
I think I'm also just personally a little bit. I have experienced one GM who was like, they didn't time it exactly 6 seconds, but it's like, you have like 30 seconds to say what you're doing.
Sure.
If not, I'm skipping. And it's like, I hate that.
There was
Hate the whole idea of like you're being
IRL
timed.
timer.
Yes.
that was
It's like
something.
30 seconds is equivalent to like 6 seconds in game. And it's like, no, stop this.
Monsters, welcome in. Sometimes I can't even get
That
back
was
in
that
6
Pathfinder
seconds.
game I was in.
Can you chug a potion in 6 seconds? Some people can.
I can chug 1.5 liters in 8 seconds. So
That's
Oh.
impressive. That is impressive.
it's a good thing I don't drink alcohol.
Right? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. People
Let's
would
be
love
honest,
you.
it also depends on the size of the potion. If the potion is literally like a single mouthful vial of
You
liquid,
just had
which is
8 heads. Oh wow! Yeah, there's like a 3-minute ad break going on Twitch right now. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
oof.
Isn't it a vial like 4 ounces? I don't know how much it is in milliliters, but I feel like I can dunk 17 of those pretty fast.
I don't know. Let me look. Hold on, I got a
I
bottle right next to
remember
me.
someone doing a
I think the bottle cap.
like a
is
little
30 bucks.
no like experiment, but like they tested like how long can you like jug a potion bottle, and they like figured up like
Spinning
how
it.
much a potion bottle, how many volumes of it is.
That is the other part of it. Is like, why is a potion a standardized unit of measure? Like, is there one vial manufacturer in the entirety of Faerun?
Well, I assumed that it depended on the quantity of liquid that was required to
Yeah.
carry the amount of healing magic to heal you.
Yeah, it would make
I
sense.
think they were saying like a greater potion, like healing, is like a big old bottle, basically, of healing potion. So instead of just concentration of the healing potion, it's just more healing potion.
That
Oh, no.
would make sense. Jonas, 17 fluid ounces is 500 milliliters. I don't know if that helps at all. Probably doesn't.
4 ounces is very little. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4 ounces is like
Tiny amount.
100 milliliters, a little more than 100, a little less than 100,
Damn.
a little less than 100. Pop kick me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
What was I gonna
that
say?
much
I was gonna say
that
something
fast
about.
down. It's-
Oh, I remember there was when I started streaming. Let me put it that way. When I started streaming, there was somebody, and I don't remember who it was, so I'm not gonna call out any YouTube streamer board. But they were like, "Oh, you should get a timer for your table so that if people are taking a long time, you can give them a countdown until their turn ends." And it's just like, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Let people have the time they need, and if it's a really like a struggling problem that they're having, there are ways to coach them around that, right? Like, hey, your turn's coming up. Think about what you want to do, and then we can talk about it.
That's one way of doing it.
I'll
Other ways,
admit
like,
I feel a little bit called out because I have done a timer before. Like, I only did it in one session, and it was because I had a player who would not start thinking about what they were going to do on their turn until their turn started, and I like tried to coach them around it, and nothing else was working. So like, I brought in a 60-second
Egg timer
like
thing.
a
Little hourglass.
a 1-minute egg timer, and I said, okay, when it's your turn, you need to have at least started telling me what you're going to do before the timer runs out. Otherwise, you're going to lose your turn, because like we can't spend 30 minutes waiting for one person to figure out what they're going to do when it is their turn starting. And like, it helped.
I had to put down a rule for no cell phones. Unless you're like directly looking something up for your character, because I have had many people, when it's not their turn, they'll just like go to Reddit, and then when it's all of a sudden their turn, they go, "Oh, well, what's happening? What's going on? I don't know what's happening." It's like, you die, your character dies. So, and I get it. Like with Pathfinder specifically, like it can take a while. It can take a while to get through a round, but.
Yeah, I hope I don't take too long. I feel like I do sometimes.
No, I think like last time
the only thing that
we got through 2 combats last time was the other thing.
Yeah.
Like we got through 2 combats and we started late, so we went pretty fast from turn to turn. We just did a lot.
Yeah, we also worked that over time. I don't think
No, we did an hour. We went an hour over time, but we started an hour late. So
yeah, so
it was
basically
busted.
did the same amount of time, just start an hour late.
Yeah. So my only criticism of you, Jonas, is that sometimes like you'll pause for a joke, and then like the whole table takes your joke and goes off on a 20-minute tangent.
That does happen.
But I don't think that is entirely your fault. And also, I often appreciate the joke. So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I was like,
Like, I think the only reason like your turns take like maybe slightly longer than others is you're rolling for like the esoteric lore stuff.
Yeah.
A lot. Just because we're low level and Foundry is mean to us. So it just takes a little bit longer to get through.
Yeah. I think that's a class
Which is
thing.
not bad.
I don't think we can necessarily get around it, but it would be nice if we could. It would be nice if we could figure out a way to streamline that.
When I was playing my investigator, what I would do. Sorry, let me catch up on chat real quick. When I was playing my investigator, I would always pre-roll my d20s. So when it gets to my turn, I'd be like, esoteric lore check, this number. Here's my first attack. I'm done. It's just like, because I knew I was going to roll like 6 dice trying to get everything set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with the investigator, you have to like do that every turn if you want to like to attack or do anything with the device stratagem stuff.
Yeah.
Because like this first roll is going to determine whether or not I A, attack, B, buff a player, or C, even know anything that I can add to the next 2 rolls I make. So it's just like.
And with the Thaumaturge, like, if you get lucky, you only have to like roll maybe a few times for esoteric lore if you're fighting like multiple different types of enemies. But if you're just fighting a boss, you only have to do it once if you get it right. And don't critically fail.
Yeah. I think we all had some long terms, or some long terms that we did not time out great on our last game. Corvus, you spent a fair amount of time on a couple of turns trying to figure out your spell shit, which is totally understandable.
Yeah, the problem I have, especially when you're playing like even a higher level caster, it's like, I want to cast this spell on my turn. This doesn't make any fucking sense. So like, there's nothing you can do except either A, interrupt someone else's turn, or then on your turn be like, hey, what does this do? Oh, not what I thought. Well, now I have to figure something else out, right? Like, that happens. That's happened, and that's a completely legitimate thing to do.
Well, Jared, you don't have spells to do with, so
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I also can't hit the broadside of a barn, so.
Should have taken the bow from the demon. That's all I'm saying.
Apparently. My turns go real fast because it's does. I rolled a 6, a natural 6. Does my bonus let me hit? Nope. I rolled a natural 7. That doesn't hit.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1. That doesn't hit either. Cool, that's my turn.
I try to make it so that like the majority of the players should be able to hit things above 10, right? Like that's always my goal is like worst case scenario 50-50 chance. Best case scenario like you have a 75% chance of hitting, right? So like, that's normally like
I legit do not think that
Yeah.
your numbers are the problem. I think it's
Right, it's just-
my ability to roll dice is the problem, right?
your ability
Because,
to
like,
roll above a 10 is not, not
Yeah,
consistent
exactly.
or good.
Your dice is loaded in not the right way.
All right, I'm done with this bad boy. His wings suck,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna get rid of him. But I'm happy with this guy.
Yeah.
Whenever I
will
think
say-
back to like fighting combat as Kevin, it's like it's just me remember reading the fucking 2 essay long like ability. I'm like, how does this? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Seriously.
That Titan, like Shatter Mountain, is such a long text.
Not only that, it's just like I'm like, okay.
And
yes,
esoteric lore.
this is like, what do I do here? I'll just improvise a weakness. Fuck it, it's easier.
Yep.
Every time you dropped that text in the Foundry chat box, I was like, oh my god.
That's the weird thing about the esoteric lore
poor
is
guy.
like to be really effective, it has to critical, which means you have to be doing it to a like your chance of critically on a boss is really low, but like and your chance to critical on something low is really high. But if you critical on something that is really low, they don't have weaknesses. Like they're just always weak to everything. So it feels a little counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's just improvising a weakness. is
Yeah,
doing it.
improvise is really good. Wait, hold on a second. Maybe now he'll pay attention. You force my hand tablet, you know, to reformat.
I do miss my
Find
fighter
out.
though. I'm like, I just want to swing.
Brian, I don't know what you do to these tablets. I don't know how you burn through them so fast. Are you
You kinda
downloading
regret
like
posting them,
gigs of data onto a tablet? Is that a thing?
Like, I think when going back to the time thing, I remember last Saturday though, there was like a bunch of stuff going on outside my door, and I just like I couldn't think, so I was just like, I'm done. I'm going in my turn, even though I had an action to do another spell. I was just so frustrated I couldn't think. It's like I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, I think I was doing Sig. Was it a kobold covered in munitions? Is that what I was doing? Kobold
I'll be right back.
artillerist.
But at least I don't have like 10-minute turns, hopefully.
No, I think most of the chafing for time that I was feeling on Saturday was not actually chafing at the time. It was chafing at the number of enemies that popped up and kept critically.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of it, at least to be fair. It was like, how many?
And it wasn't
8.
even like just hitting above the 10, right? It was 20s. I was rolling 20s. It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You were critting our asses so
Yeah.
hard.
It was
So
dangerous.
that's like, yeah. As a GM, that is my experience with Foundry as well. Like this is the big fight. Foundry somehow senses it and says, okay, the GM gets all of the good rolls and everybody else can just suck it.
Oh yeah, that's so this week for my own game. Sorry, I have to like interrupt.
No,
I
go
didn't get
ahead.
my party this week.
Yeah.
I killed them all. Now, to be fair, it was a purple worm against level 5s, but it didn't help I critted the ever-living shit out of them constantly. Like, the first attack I made was with disadvantage because one of them smartly dodged, double net 20.
No.
I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't fudge that because I rolled it in front of them, so I was like,
Yep.
well, I guess I gotta go with this now. And then, to be fair, they made some dumb mistakes, but I'm like, I feel like I was very responsible for their deaths, though. That's what I get for using random table encounters.
True.
I do think it's funny that I don't know. I don't. This is gonna sound like a criticism, and I don't want it to be, because I think it's really funny, but I also think it's your own fault.
It is. I know.
No.
I blame
This is for
myself.
Druid. In every single situation in this dungeon, I've been watching.
Yep.
Your character is in charge of scouting, So you're like, I scout ahead, and then the party immediately runs up to you. Like, right up to you. The fight starts, and your character goes, I'll go to the other side of the room and shoot from over here. Because everyone's fighting right here.
Yep.
To which I have had things hiding in the backs of every single room. It's
No,
like,
it's true.
Druid, stop running forward. Stay back here. You're the archer. Hide in the back. So, a lot of those things I've put in there because that's Jump Rope's MO, normal MO, is to just, like, wildly charge into the back of the room. After something.
Jump Rope also tends to play characters that have enough HP and defense to be able to tank it. I do not.
Nope.
Nope, you're 100% right. It is my fault. And the moment all of those guys popped up, I was like, ah, shit, I really stepped in it this time.
It was very funny though.
But, like, the whole party was freaking out about the dragon skull chasing us, and I was like, okay, well, if this is how we're gonna do it, then I'm gonna do this.
Yep. My plan worked perfectly. It just wasn't supposed to be the archer that ran forward.
That's okay. I wouldn't have contributed much anyway. My contribution was keeping people in general up another couple of rounds with the potions.
It helped.
Like, I like those little skull guys.
Yeah, they're good enemies.
They're really good
Like,
enemies. They're only
good mob enemies.
Yeah, their only function is like they spit fire and then they headbutt you and then they explode when you kill them. So like, yeah, I like them. And I just wanted them to chase people around the room. And then I had it set up in my head so that if they started their turn, they would shoot fire at the closest person, and if anybody like either tried to melee them or ran past them, they would chase them and hit them with their head. So it was Spitfire charge, and it was fun. I liked it. I like those little guys.
Yeah, they were fun. I had to think about if I wanted to get closer or not, or if I wanted to eat my eggs, which was a bad idea because I missed most of the time, but it's fine.
Because my thought with them is people would like try to hit them and then run away because they knew they would explode next turn if someone killed them. And so they would just chase that person down and then explode.
There were kind of too many of them for us to actually do that tactically with them, though.
I mean, that's why. I didn't want you guys to just tap run shoot, tap run shoot, right? Like that would make them too easy.
Right.
So numbers overwhelm. And then hopefully you guys would ignore the random skeleton wizard while all the skulls were cluster fucking around the room. But no, you guys just two-shotted him. It was fine.
Look, if we hadn't...
Somebody would have gotten fingered to death.
If he hadn't have gone down that fast, then more people would have died because that was a lot. Like we would have had some permadeaths probably.
That guy was designed to murder someone.
I think I was one down away from dying. If I remember correctly. Very fun though. But maybe I have a very different idea of fun. I don't know. I seem like the most okay with my horrific failures, but that's just how I have to live with my horrible luck. I can't be a salty bitch, unfortunately.
I live to be a salty bitch. I openly acknowledge the fact that you had about as many horrible dice rolls as I did. So, like you absolutely have the right to complain. I just like to complain. So
that's fine. I used to, but then I was like, it doesn't matter.
What's the best electric-themed subclass in Pathfinder? Kineticist is not included. They're too good. Interesting.
Are they?
I don't know. I mean, kineticists are just lazy writing in my mind. I think they're fine. Like they're fun to play, but they're just like people want Avatar. Let's do Avatar. It's like okay, kineticist.
Yeah, they're cool. I guess they are very good if you like build them to be very good. But I've had like 3 kineticists in my games, and they've always been Their turns take the longest for some reason. But
They gotta like attune to something, and then they gotta punch something, and then they gotta explode something.
they're like things like, do I want to do this or this? And you're like, it's been 10 minutes. Can you just do your turn, please?
I think it was supposed to be a monk subclass, right? Like,
yeah, I agree. It feels like that to me.
But
I'm going to assume it just grew out of control.
Exactly, yeah. And so I was gonna say, like, I feel like it got too complicated to be a subclass, and so they had to make it, its own class. But which is fine. Like, I think kineticist is cool. I do think the kineticist is cool. I feel like it's kind of, it's a little. I don't want to say it's sloppy. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. That's what I want. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, electric themed class, I think a sorcerer that focuses on lightning magic.
Yeah. To do with dragon, dragon disciple could be fun.
That could be, because you can get an electric breath weapon.
I think.
The druid has a electric themed subclass.
Oh, do they?
I think so, because I've got
I'm making him a Blastoise, by the way.
Nice.
This is my plan.
Grem has maybe it's an no, it's, I forget what it is. It's some kind of elemental themed archetype, and Grem has both fire and electricity.
There might be a alchemist electricity thing, like Frankenstein style. Can't remember. I think you just have like bottled lightning though, for the most part.
That kind of sounds correct. There is it takes a while to get to it, but you can do an electrically themed build inventor.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
It might just be an alchemist with the inventor subclass for it, right?
Right. Yeah.
That might just be what the inventor is, because you're building like a lot of little inventions and things, and I think a lot of them are electrical based, like shocks and stuff, shocks and thunder.
Yeah. The alchemists based base overclock explosion thing though is usually fire, but there is there's a thing you can spec into that does electricity damage instead. But like in general, like you really do have to in 2E, you really do have to spend time and shop around, I think, because none of the subclasses or archetypes are really as well defined as you get in 5E. So honestly, like reading your question, which one is the best, my thought is, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Okay, there's my Blastoise kobold with a chain gun. So that's about as
It looks like the guy from the mobile game where he flies with the mini jetpack.
That does a little bit.
Tempest Oracle could be good.
Pleasant one.
Alright, rolling some dice.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't been a single spellcaster in Pathfinder yet.
A mummy, who is the Order of Scribe Wizard, whose wrappings are pages from an awakened spellbook. There's a lot going on in that sentence. So he's wearing an awakened book?
Yes, Order of Scribes have a Ascension book as their subclass thing.
Oh, so the scribe... Okay, gotcha. That makes more sense. So it's just their spellbook, but their spellbook is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dagon played one in a game that I played with him and my brother, and it was actually like, it was really cool. It probably would not have been as cool if there wasn't as much like archaeology shit going on, but it's one of my favorite wizard subclasses, I think.
Definitely the most versatile. Because if you don't know Rook, the book can float away from you, and it can be like a center of the spellcasting, like the spellcaster for a spell. Like get extra range, or like get the book closed instead of you to do touch spells and stuff. Though it can do it only like so many times a day, I think it was.
Yeah, it kind of becomes like a familiar.
Yeah.
5e has
It's a
that
spell
too, doesn't
book,
it?
So. Second?
Does 5e have one of the books you can... Your spell book is... I guess it's not a familiar. Your spell book is your...
Yeah, it's your spell book.
It's just it's a... What am I thinking of? You can pick like a ring or a book or...
Just a focus.
Yeah. I never know how much undead to make a mummy.
Don't ask me. I don't really draw mummies.
There's like an object-bound option for wizards in 5e. Instead of a familiar.
Object bound. Why is my microphone picking that up? What?
I mean, you're still talking.
Sorry, I just realized my microphone was picking something up, and I was like, why is it doing? There we go. Much better. It was picking up my fan.
It got hot yesterday.
Oh.
I mean, like hot for Seattle.
I just had mine on for white noise.
I was not prepared. Is that a rotating GIF? What's going on with this GIF? Let me look at this. Oh, there you go.
Well, weather situation in Finland, it snowed on Wednesday, so, you know.
Wow.
I'm waiting for a day where I can wear shorts without being cold.
Same.
Is there a spellcaster in Pathfinder that focuses on cantrip specifically?
I don't think so.
I'm back.
The Animus,
Hey, welcome back.
kind of?
I don't know, I kind of want like that.
What about the Animus?
The Animus has... I was looking at the Animus the other day, so Corvus, you might be able to check me on this. But the Animus has a limited spell list, but then they get cantrips, and then they get more cantrips from the spirits that they choose. So...
Well, it's not just cantrips, it's a full-on, like, spell list that gets tacked onto your prepared spell list.
Right, but for... I think they're mainly focused on the cantrip casting. Right. Is that... Would you disagree with that?
No.
Okay.
I asked the question, which is there a spellcaster in Pathfinder that focuses on cantrip specifically?
And so-
Psychics.
Oh.
The Psychic has... So the Psychic has a limited spell list only, I think. Wait, no, they're a full caster. But they get... they have, like, focus cantrips, like the Bard, that allow them to do a bunch of different things. And they get, like, a bunch of them.
So my argument for the Animist is that they're the only... Well, maybe they're not the only ones. But they're the only ones that can swap out their cantrips by switching their Animist. Their spirit.
So if you're a prepared caster, you can swap out your cantrips every day.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Animus are weird. So the Animus spells in themselves. So spells that Sentry prepares for the day are prepared spells. The spells that Sentry gets from the spirits are spontaneous spells.
Right.
And they all count as signature spells for me. And so that lets me upcast them. And so I have basically the same number of spells as a cleric or a druid or bard, but it's just split on what I get. And if when I later get a third spirit, I think I can still only have 3. I think the max is 3, and if I was a certain subclass, I could like cycle through them, which I didn't want because that's just me changing my spell list every round.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't do that. I just simply, once a day, when I prepare spells, I pick out the list of spirits.
And then the thing with the bard, the focus spells, the focus cantrips are essentially your performances, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so with the animus, we also get focus spells, but they're not cantrips, but they are single action spells, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you could cast a normal 2-action spell and then a single action focus spell. Like I did that towards the end there with the garden. You can only use the focus spells of your main spirit that you have for that day.
Oh, okay.
But you can spend you can do, when you refocus, you're allowed to switch between the two. And I think it's the liturgist, animist. You have them all as your main spirits.
That's cool. Okay.
Like, so. It's like the most popular one. Cause like,
yeah,
they get
that seems
thing.
like the most fun, functional way to just like choose spirits and pounce around with them. So.
Yeah. I didn't want to do that. Like I said, I didn't want to juggle. That was like my biggest thing, is like, I don't know if Foundry is optimized for me swapping between spell lists.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would have to like make a separate entry for all the spirits. Basically, all right, I'm using this one, so I'm using only these spells.
I was running into that with the blade singing wizard. They don't have a way to have like your rage, your whatever, the dance when you go into the sword dance, which is essentially like going into a rage. It's like, change my stats, damn it. They're like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. That is a frustrating thing. So yeah, like essentially he's a seer, which is what allows me to have like the sensitivity to spirits stuff. Eventually I'll be able to like precisely tell where a spirit is, but right now it's just a vague sense. But if we were going up against like spirits, then like incorporeal undead essentially would shine, because he has like, he gets a +1 stats bonus against haunts, spirits, and incorporeal undead. But we've been fighting nothing but physical undead, and like, dang it.
You should have been taking that. This whole area is a haunt. We should have been giving you bonuses.
I mentioned it a few times.
I think you have. Yeah.
You said,
I think I've given it to you.
Yeah, and you said like, well, it's kind of a haunt.
It also depends
like,
on what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different things.
But yeah, like haunts are like specific mechanical things.
Yeah.
So, hence why I don't think it ever came up.
My thoughts with haunts are specifically like, can you stop the haunt from happening? Yes or no. So like, is this a magical effect, or is this a haunt? Right. Those are the two things I look at.
Because like there's like bloodthirsty toy. That's a haunt.
As opposed to a seer that
like,
makes meat with a crust. What?
Wait, what?
I assume that was a pun. I think Tomek was making a pun, but I don't get it. Is there a pizza? Is there a pizza called seer?
Oh, sear. Like searing a steak.
Oh. It's an accent pun.
I'm sorry. They're the same word, just spelled one with an A, one with another E. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people like just, when I was looking up like how people have been building their animists, I'm like probably one of maybe 5 people who use the seer subclass.
Funny.
Everyone else is just using the liturgist. Because that's
That's how you get
you
the damage
eventually
boost.
can. Well, sort of that, but it's also you can't like you get the cycle spirit thing, and then like later on you can like when you sustain one of your apparition spells, which is the spells you get from your spirits or the focus spell, you get to move, step, or tumble through, or it's leap, step, or tumble through
Nice.
enemies when you sustain a spell. Yeah, that's nice, but
Bloodthirsty toys.
I'm fine with sticking in one spot. I've not been bamboozled yet.
Wait, what? What did I miss? What are you talking about?
So the leer just lets you move a lot.
Let you move. Okay.
At a higher level, at like level 9, when you sustain a spell, you can move as a free
I
action.
had a lot of fun with my summoner, who I think I will never play again.
Yes, it's coming through on YouTube.
Okay. Can you draw my cat? It's my PFP. Kitty cat.
Cat.
If you want to make your cat a D&D character, you can put it on the list. That's totally fine.
Plenty of ways of playing a cat in D&D and Pathfinder.
Have done, will do again. We never got back to that cat in the Tower of Ashfont. It makes me sad. I had a cat that was secretly a dragon. But
I'm gonna say don't spoil it because it could always show up in our campaign.
that's true. Don't know what I'd do with him. The mystery is lost. It wasn't supposed to be a secret. He ate metal once. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Welcome in, fella, by the way. Yeah, if you want to put a suggestion for a D&D themed cat, I will put it on the list. The rules are down below. One sentence, no mimics,
No fan art.
no fan art.
I will say my only critique of low-level Animist, not a lot of feat options.
Yeah, I'm running into that with a lot of the low-level characters. So I think starting at like level 3 or 4 is a good starting point.
Yeah.
Just so you really get some fun options from the get-go.
Yeah. Considering my campaign was all of our very first foray into second edition Pathfinder, starting at level 5 might have been too much, but I do think that now that we know what we're doing, level 5 is where I would prefer to start, because at level 5 you at least have enough stuff to feel like you've got an amount of kit to make you functional.
Yeah.
I can't draw this hand.
3 is okay, lower than 3 is rough.
You looked up hooves instead? Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the bot. The bot is just broken, so that'll have to be a thing I look into. Well, try to. Oh, gotta go. You're cool. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for hanging out. I think one of my friends started building a ranger for our campaign, and I was like, yeah, go for get gravity weapon. And I started looking at it again, like gravity weapon scales real fast, but it seems real crappy at level 1.
Yep.
Like
like once you start getting like a striking runes on your weapon, it gets, I believe, better.
It gives you an extra die per damage die. So so your normal attack is 1d6.
No.
So you get an extra 1d6. Or it gives you extra damage based on the damage die. So you get plus 1.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think if you're using your hunted prey, you're adding a d6 to that, so now you're getting plus 2 at level 1. And so that's great. And then you get the striking rune, which makes this 2d6, so now we have 3. And then when your hunted prey goes up, it becomes 2d6, so now you're plus 4. Like, it starts scaling real fast out of nowhere.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's only on the first weapon strike in the round.
Mm-hmm.
You gain a status bonus to damage equal to twice the number of weapon damage dice. I don't think it's been calculating correctly for me because I think I've only been getting plus 2 damage, but on my first shot in a round, if I'm getting my extra precision damage, I should be getting plus 6 damage.
Be. Yeah. That was
Unless
something I
that
was
doesn't
thinking about.
count.
Are you checking the box to make it work?
Yeah.
We'll have to look at that. Because the other thing is, I'm kind of wondering if it says the first strike, which doesn't always mean the first hit, and I think that's stupid. I think it should definitely count as the first time you hit in a round. The first successful strike.
On your first weapon strike each round. Also,
it doesn't say the first successful. So if you miss,
yeah.
And I think that's bullshit. I think it should work. So it might
I
be.
always miss my first shot.
Exactly. So I think we might need to just take that into account.
Yep.
Because I will give you that because I think that's dumb.
Turn on every first time you hit.
Yeah.
But it leaves it up to me to uncheck it, and I don't usually if I miss my first shot because I guess did not read it closely enough to pick up on that nuance, and so I also assumed that it was the first time I hit in a round.
And maybe maybe it doesn't take your precision damage into account, which I also think is stupid. So there's some things we can play with.
Because I know, like, sometimes, like, they won't. If it's like because sometimes, like, external damage types won't be calculated into the weapon damage.
Yeah.
So.
It said animated spellbook, but like pages do not bandages make. So do I like staple them onto the chest?
Read the description.
Unless it's a scroll.
That's kind of like I think that might be the smarter thing to do, is make the spellbook like a big scroll.
What did the description say?
An animated spell scroll. Has anyone played Deadlands? Someone give me a book, and I've been curious about the lore. I have not.
No.
Anything that lasts for more than a session or two really shouldn't be that low. Oh, it depends on what kind of game. Especially looking for a low fantasy survival game. Starting at 3 works for that, yeah. I don't know. I think there is, especially if you're doing like a one shot, yeah, like starting really high is fine. But like I think most people, myself included, like so maybe this is just my own biases. I like learning the character and I like kind of feeling how the character plays out. So I really like starting low, because then you get that time to like really try things out and pick things.
Mm.
But that could just be me.
Like, I very much appreciate the being low level with the animist.
Yeah, so that you don't start and immediately feel overwhelmed with all the shit you have to juggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
By the way, Reddit says no. Additional, let's see, precision damage is not considered weapon damage dice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I disagree.
is not supposed to trigger gravity weapon per se.
Gravity
Yeah,
weapon is basically a
I figured.
one-time thing you can cast, so I think it should get as many bonuses as you can cram into it.
Then it'll be broken, and everyone would take it.
I mean, yeah, anything that breaks the ranger, I'm all for.
Kind of agree.
Well, the ranger is very bad.
Ranger's good.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just middle class.
Yeah.
No, agreed. Yeah. Always has been.
Which is unfortunate.
I do still think that 2E's version of the Ranger is better
I do
than
too.
Pathfinder 1's Ranger and 5E's Ranger and 3.5's Ranger.
I think something they did that was smart was that they basically took the ranged archer out of rogue and gave it back to the ranger, which is great.
Yeah, that was a good change for Pathfinder 1. I do enjoy 2E's rogue more because I personally enjoy melee rogue.
Mr. Physicist, welcome in. I think I'm done with this mummy. I don't know what else to do with him. He's covered in books.
I like the hat.
He needed the hat, I think. I think it's required.
There's so many things I want to try.
Right?
Yeah. Well, currently I'm just going through all the like martial-ish classes, trying them all out. Like I'm playing an exemplary one game, then thaumaturge in the current one. Let's just see what sticks. I just find thaumaturge funny, but I'm too much of a memer sometimes, so I guess it does get in the way sometimes.
Oh, I drew him real small. Not bad. I was zoomed in. Alright, I'm gonna get a snack. Mr. Physicist, welcome in, by the way. I'm be right back. 1 second.
Snacky time.
You know, I do want to say I don't mind that second edition Pathfinder's Ranger being kind of mid in combat because they are still a skill mule, and I appreciate all of the skills that I am able to have.
Oh, that's true. That is certainly true.
I think I started with 6 plus my intelligence and trained skills, and I get increased training every other level.
I guess if Kevin dies, I should make a healer.
Probably, we could probably use a healer. Not that Corvus isn't doing great, but like, I don't think you wanted to play healer.
No, it's fine. I just don't have the kit to handle it
The focus on it
for everyone yet.
Yeah.
The kid is still asleep. He's been sleeping for an hour. That's impressive.
Nice.
He ran himself tired this morning.
Good.
A Warforged artificer dressed in steampunk suit, whatever that means, and a head that has windows so you can see his brain. We'll figure that out. Like a steampunk mech suit? Is that what that means?
I assumed it meant like a Victorian era men's suit.
Oliver, welcome in.
Waistcoat and top hat.
Well, I don't want to do the top hat or you won't see the brain.
The top hat has windows specifically to show off the brain.
Top hat window. Would have been burning. I don't know if people know how I draw Warforged.
Probably not.
It's been a while since we've seen you draw one.
Yeah.
We draw them well, so it's a shame.
Window is very specific too.
I just think of Evil Con Carne and Bosco the Bear.
Meat and Coke got a full vibe going on. That sounds pretty good. Oh, and the kid's awake. Dang it. We're back. So grumpy.
So feisty.
Do Warforged actually have brains?
Which kind of lore are we talking about? Basic lore?
Officially, I
Good
don't
question.
think they do.
No. They are just essentially wooden puppets. Depends what you count as a brain, I guess. I shouldn't make another Nagashi, that's too much.
You've already played 2 of them.
What about the third one?
Play
Oh,
Fish Person.
Siegfried. This isn't really an electric-themed subclass, but I just remembered Tengu have some interesting electric and storm-based heritage feats. So you could probably build a very unique sort of subclass thing going if you play a Tengu. Yeah.
I was gonna say probably the Tempest Oracle. If Kinesis isn't available.
Yeah.
Proper chill day you've had in a while. Nice. Yeah. You want some? There you go. No, you can't have the pen. What's this? There you go.
You could also do a summoner and have an elemental Eidolon.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Then you get fused with it.
Yeah. Become an air or
Oh,
electrical elemental.
that reminds me. So the Animist, I was looking at that. There's 2 different ways to get possessed by your spirits. One where you like physically become them, and one where they possess you and like control you. Which to me
Yeah,
is like that sounds like the same thing.
No, so the first one you said is by means of the spell Avatar, which is clerics can get it as well. I guess technically anyone with the divine spells can, and you basically become a like avatar of a god, or in this case, a spirit.
Is that the shaman or is that the?
No, this is a divine spell.
This is a
list.
spell. Okay. So what I'm talking about
Yeah.
is like instead of picking the liturgist or the whatever you picked,
Seer.
seer, you can pick the shaman, which says that like, I think you manifest into the spirit's essences, which makes me think like
No.
you turn into an animal or something. But then there was another one that like the spirits possess you and become you.
So the shaman lets you have a familiar.
Oh, okay. So you're summoning it into a familiar.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the medium lets it take control of your body.
Okay. But you're not
a
actually
lot of
changing
people
your
don't
physical
like.
form in either of those.
No.
Gotcha.
A lot of people don't like the medium. I like it, but I kind of like the flavor of the medium anyways, so.
Jump Rope played one in first edition, and it was really fun. When the medium was its own class.
Yeah.
It was fun. Jordan, welcome in.
I think the biggest thing that people don't like about it is you can't move. The spirit can only take a step action.
That is weird. Do you get like super punch?
I don't remember. Hang on. Don't know everything about the animist.
Read more. Book librarian guy.
Bite me.
Trying to what word? I was trying to find the right word and I couldn't find it, so I came up with librarian book guy. You are the keeper of lore, knower of things.
You are the chosen one.
You are the chosen.
All right. Let's see. Practices. Medium.
What do you got, kid?
You gain the
Yeah, so funny.
feats.
Is that funny?
Which I guess I could take it since it doesn't restrict me. I just get for free as the medium. Relinquish control.
Take the wheel.
Your apparition takes over and shields you from outside influences. Starting to your next turn, you gain a +4 status bonus on saves against controlled effects, which would have been helpful when I was confused.
So it's a defense maneuver, not a.
However, only actions you can take are during that turn, basically, until your next turn, is recall knowledge, step strike, cast an apparition spell, or cast a vessel spell. You can also sustain the vessel spell, or use an action that of the apparition trait.
Interesting.
And you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to all recall knowledges made using the lore skills granted by the attuned apparition.
It's Machine Head from
It's a
Invincible.
lot.
Kind of. Machine Head is It's a good vibe. I like him. I mean, he's a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. I like the way he looks. I like his design.
And at level 8, you could choose to take the feat called Instinctive Maneuvers. When Relinquish Control is active, you can add Grapple, Reposition, Shove, and Trip to those lists of actions. And you gain a +2 stats bonus to the athletics checks for those actions.
It does sound like it's supposed to be more of a defensive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. But also sad that you're not just like... That was the fun thing with the medium in the first one, was just like... You get a ancient fighter spirit, and then it would possess you, and you just start kicking people's asses, right? Like, that's cool.
Yeah. Which can totally happen because there is a fighter, a warrior spirit
Yeah.
that lets you, when you use your focus spell, makes you a better fighter.
Okay. Okay, so it's still there. That's good.
Yeah. Well, that's something that can happen. This is also Relinquish Control is a free action.
Okay, so it does sound like it's a more of like a someone's trying to mind control you, and you're just like, nope,
Yep.
I'm gonna let my spirit
And
take the wheel.
Well, it also has a trigger. Your turn begins. So, like, if I guess you figured out like, oh, this thing might have mind control or something, beginning my next turn, take over.
Question for Chorus: do you own Dragons Unleashed? If so, which layer do you think would be most interesting for the encounter? That would be a question for Jump Rope. Jump Rope is not here.
Kid, you cannot have the pen. Well, no, you want it.
you wanted. It looks really fun. But if you break this
I am also
pen,
not in
Papa
Twitch,
can't pay the bills.
So
What's that?
that I'm also not in Twitch, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, sorry, Atomic Corvus isn't watching Twitch, so I have to read it.
I don't even know what Dragons Unleashed is.
I think it's a module, isn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of something different. If not,
It's a Paizo book from
Yeah.
1A. I don't have any 1A books. Honestly, 1A is kind of like my weakest area of Pathfinder.
Yeah, I didn't manage to get him into a game fast enough.
I have most of them. I know a guy that his friend worked for Paizo, so he literally had every single book, and there were a couple of them that I was just like, oh, I want this book, and I'd look it up online, and it's like $500 because they only did a so short print of them. It's
Yeah.
like, damn it. So there's a handful of books that I will probably never own,
Yeah.
but I have a lot of them, and I like them. They're great.
I wonder if Corvus would have enjoyed me.
All right, kid. He is fighting me. He wants to be put down, but if I put him down, he's gonna scream. So we might be at the end of our rope here. I'd rather not let him scream, but it might be an inevitable thing.
What were you saying, Burning?
Yeah, I only caught half of that.
I didn't even hear it.
Ah, it's all good. I was just wondering if Corvus would have enjoyed being a face or
Is
I
Bernie
mean, I
really,
was
really
going to be
quiet
in.
for anyone
that-
else?
Burning's a little quiet, but can you not hear?
I can't hear him.
I can hear
Oh.
him fine.
Do you have him turned down?
Maybe. Let's find out. No, I have him at 150%.
Jesus.
Huh, weird.
Can you hear us fine?
I can hear you guys just fine. Yeah. Very strange.
Weird.
That is
well-
really strange.
I can hear you
Oh,
better
well.
now. I cranked you up to 200. But... Hey. Flailing is not okay.
At least not yet. Wait until you're older.
No. Slapping me in the face is not appropriate.
My hope is that you would all like to serve the Green Mother in my campaign, because I actually have factions for her built out. But also, she is as toxic as Mother Nature.
Mother Nature ain't toxic though. I'm not saying she's nice and sweet. I'm just saying she ain't toxic. She's just what she is.
Let's go out into the wild and eat some mushrooms. See what happens.
or berries.
A
Yeah,
good
yeah.
time.
Or point out to me any predator that does not relish killing and eating the baby of somebody else.
First of all, I would argue they don't relish it, because that implies that they get enjoyment out of it. Only animal that gets enjoyment. There's very few animals that get enjoyment. I had to walk back my statement for a little bit. That's dolphins, and us, and cats.
And cats.
Orcas.
Orcas,
Well,
yeah.
those are type of dolphin. So
I mean, I don't know. I've seen some dogs that really get into it.
At least dogs are trained to have fun when they maul somebody, though, so that's not quite fair.
I don't know that they need trained to enjoy it. I think they just enjoy it.
Anyway, all I'm saying is Green Mother is all about that survival of the fittest. She sits on the blood petal throne.
Coco, welcome in, by the way.
I guess I've always understood the Green Mother as more of like poison ivy, less Mother Nature.
Oh,
There's something that I think is Druid. You've read some of the Dresden books, right?
Yeah.
So we have the Winter Court and the Summer Court, right? And they're both very important aspects of the Fae thing. But I think in unison they are Mother Nature, right? So like there is that aspect of the Green Mother that is very much like animals need to eat each other to survive, right? Like it's brutal and it's rough and it's like part of nature. But I also think that like the loving, nurturing Earth taking care of all these animals is also part of her. So I think it's very much you have to have both of those to really like make the Green Mother who she is. So I think you can definitely see like, oh yeah, she's cutthroat and mean, but like also. So I don't know. I worry about only looking at one aspect of those, right? And I feel like that's what happens a lot of times. Which would probably make sense in the real world. If there were actual like religions and cults and whatever following, you would probably have different perspectives, right?
Oh, totally.
It's just, I guess the way I've always understood it is, like, the Green Mother in Pathfinder, who's a archfey basically, is all about like intrigue and seduction, and that's kind of her whole jam. Is like.
He is
convincing people to do stuff. Yeah.
Large tracts of land. If you didn't get that reference, be older than 30. I don't know.
Go watch more Monty Python. It ages surprisingly well.
Yeah. It's like her edicts now are like frolic and vegetation. Frolic can mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
Manipulate people. Use what you kill and prey on the weak. Anathema, which are probably more important than edicts, to keep favor. Hold a secret too long, discriminate against sex workers, or use their trade against them. And just like, that doesn't scream Mother Nature. That screams someone who wants to strangle the world in vines and use everyone's secrets against them.
That is a little weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember that before they did away with the alignment charts, she was neutral evil, exclusively.
Yeah.
It could be part of the Fae thing leading into that.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, I still think of her as basically an embodiment of nature, specifically because I see her as being a physical embodiment of appetite in all of its forms. And being against anything that denies appetite.
That's fair. I think that's cool.
He's also like decidedly like against animals as well. She only likes plants.
Interesting. That's an interesting side of it.
Yeah.
She did not used to be that way.
Because she has no quote unquote sacred animals. It's only carnivorous plants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. I guess that's the Green Mother, right? So like. Are there other druid gods? There are?
Yeah, so there's Gosray, which is...
The Green Mother is one of the eldest, which is...
Okay.
They don't have to be the oldest Fae, but the eldest are basically the rulers of the First World.
Okay.
And in Pathfinder, at least, the First World is equivalent to the Feywild. I don't know what 5e's lore is for the Feywild, but in Pathfinder... The First World is literally the First World. It was like a proto-creation. It's the Garden of Eden. It's what all of the...
It's the drawing board.
Yeah. It's what all of the great beings kind of first made as a prototype before they made the prime material plane. And then everything that became a god or a devil basically abandoned the First World in order to complete creation, and then whatever conflicts happened that sent them into their own realms, whatever. But the eldest stayed in the First World. Yeah. So they are essentially elder gods in some respects. Yeah. And the Green Mother is just one probably the most well known.
only one I know is the lantern guy.
Yeah,
The
Lantern
Lantern
King.
King? Yeah.
I think that's mainly because he gets featured pretty heavily in Kingmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hate
totally
him.
fair.
Anyways.
Is he the father of Lindworms?
No, that's
No.
damn it. Hang on.
That's a good might deity in Pathfinder. That's a domain
Name.
name.
Oh, the
Wait.
orc
Like,
Orcus?
god? Yeah.
Which orc god?
Finds Orcus immediately. Huh. I guess he works. Maybe not.
Because Orcus doesn't exist in Pathfinder anymore. They retconned them out.
The
Yeah.
what's the Corvus? Which is the prime dwarven forge god?
Lantern King
Orag.
and the twins?
Org, yeah.
And then there was Gorham, but he's dead officially. But it doesn't matter in Rook's game.
Nope.
Rook is
Gorham
not playing in
is-
Galarian.
Because
My rules for deities don't make any fucking sense.
yeah, it's fair. It's funny because in both of the Pathfinder video games, my characters have been Gorham worshippers.
He's pretty great.
It's always
He's pretty
funny.
easy to follow.
Yeah. You want to fight me? All right, let's fight.
Yep. You just don't kill prisoners or people that surrender. And don't cheat fights.
Ragadan is the water lord, the father
Yep.
of Linorms, and the eldest of oceans.
I love one of his edicts is just draw spirals.
Seek primordial secrets. Always carry water. Domains, destruction, dragon, vigil, water.
Also, don't destroy fossils. He hates when people destroy fossils.
Interesting.
Atomic posted Imbrex the twins, which is a very weird eldest. It's literally two sentient psychic statues.
Two creatures hundreds of feet tall. Oh, I was thinking they had hundreds of feet, and I was like, what? Kid, please don't do that. I realize you like this, but it's gonna break my fans. Yep, just like that. Knock it off. He takes a headphone jack and he crams it in the holes in my computer case until it hits one of the fans.
no.
And goes.
Oof.
He's probing. He's testing the fences. Here, play with this. Is that gonna bite me in the ass? Probably not. You don't want that? How about this? Can you play with that?
Eh.
No? Throw that on the floor too? How about this? That's slightly shorter? Yeah, here, that won't hit the fan.
Jonas, this is a list of all the deities that have the might domain.
There's a lot.
yeah, I was gonna say there are a lot of gods that.
Well, if I don't want one, I'll just take Gorham. He's a safe pick.
Yeah.
Okay, there's my brain Warforged steampunk guy. I gave him a suit. That's as close as we're gonna get to steampunk.
Sad will come.
Do I wanna... It's 130, it's 140. The kid is currently calm.
For the
Kid is
most part.
Calm for the most part, yeah. We can do one more. Let's do one more. And we'll call it.
Ugh. I hate that description. Why? Why if I so?
A fairy godmother in training running late for her enchanting class.
Got frazzled fairy godmother.
We'll put this guy up here. Yeah, why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do this? Miss Frazzle, yeah, Miss Frazzle.
Me tabs open because everyone was asking me questions.
Sorry.
Why?
What's up?
I said I have way too many tabs open. I don't know where the stream is anymore.
Ah.
We've overwhelmed our Lord Keeper.
It's fine.
I have returned. Why was I peeking?
Because I also gave you a suggestion
Oh, what did you say?
for a deity. One of my personal favorites.
Genzari. Whoa.
I don't know how to draw people running anymore.
Yeah, same.
Running.
I ran like
I'll,
a block today,
yeah.
and I'm so old. So old.
Back in my day.
I watched something where I think it was Game Changer. And Brandon Lee Mulligan's like, I just now realized that I haven't jumped in 15 years. And it was just like, oh no. I need to start jumping more.
I didn't see that part, but I did see that section of the game. Where Iffy obviously jumped the highest because he's the most probably physically active. Did we lose? Right.
Yep.
Oh, that's probably right. We did it well.
I will assume his tablet shat itself.
Again.
A small and deep cut for Dropout lore with that, though, is I enjoyed that Iffy's flag included a little portrait of Denzel.
I missed that.
You alright, kid? Yeah, he's fine.
You sure?
He stepped on a toy car and ate shit.
Oh god.
He's soft and squishy now. He'll be fine.
This is for you, Jared.
Oh,
The hell's that?
I'm not sure if I love it or hate it.
Its name is Mahar, M-H-A-R, the World Thunderer. It's a crab volcano.
It looks
Or
like
spider.
it'll be a Pokemon.
It does.
Agreed.
how in the world are you supposed to cause tectonic disasters?
High level primal magic.
I guess.
Yup.
Yeah. It's just it's one of its edicts is cause tectonic disasters, and then the other is destroy objects and creatures using fire. Sounds like a perfect goblin god.
Punch the volcano.
Yeah, 9th level spell, Upheaval, Primal, and Arcane spell list. The ground in the area shudders and crumbles as huge pillars of stone erupt into the air, rending the terrain around them.
Also, volcanic eruption would also work.
There's one that lets you dive into the ground. That one's pretty sweet.
That one.
It's a mega spell. It's like terrain dive or terrain dive or something like that.
You remember what level?
I was level 5, so it had to be lower than that. Say level 3? 2 or 3?
Well, if you're playing a maze, that's the arcane spell list.
I might have taken the primal spell list because I was trying to do a dragoon. So I might have taken something that gave me the primal spell list.
Is it Dive and Breach? Which
Yeah,
is
it could
a
be it,
level
yeah.
spell. You make the briefest of dives through the plane of water. You leap 10 feet, and where you land on the ground, you instead disappear in a splash of water. Your body entering the surface like a diver entering a pool. You then exit from an unoccupied surface within 40 feet, appearing in another splash of water as you leap out, landing 10 feet away from where you exited. Each splash deals 3d10 bludgeoning damage to all creatures in a 5-foot emanation. Creatures in multiple splash zones take damage only once.
So I guess you jump into water, which is not as interesting, but
I was gonna say, there's also the great blazing dive.
is blazing dive? Okay, that might be the other one I took.
That one's you jump in the air, and where you land, you
Explode.
explode. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
How do I make somebody look like they're out of breath?
Flesh
I feel like
cheeks.
I feel like you're doing a pretty good representation of that already.
Yeah.
I need to work on my poses more. That's what I need to do.
Same.
Orc, the meat of fine art. What?
Say it again.
Orc demigod of firearms. Cool.
You get Hellboy's big, like 6-barrel gun.
His massive revolver. That sounds. Anyways.
The Samaritan.
Yep.
No, the one I'm thinking of, I think he calls Big Baby.
Oh,
That was a grenade launcher. Big Baby was a grenade
Yeah,
launcher.
Big Baby with the grenade launcher.
We talked about those
Either
on
it's
Wednesday.
still a gun. It's a firearm.
No, the
Agreed.
ATF doesn't think so.
Yeah.
In Pathfinder, it's a gun. It's called a barricade buster.
But
Does it take-
specifically,
Does it
it's
take
revolver
canisters, shells, or cartridges?
Hang on. 'Cause
So
I can actually give an answer to
What's the
that.
cleric? But melee.
Is that how the ATF defines
No.
firearms?
No, the ATF. I mean, my libertarian is showing, but the ATF decides what's a firearm on spit and a whim.
I mean, that makes sense.
It uses a 8-round magazine. Officially.
But what kind of ammo do you put in it? Just ammo? Any ammo?
Presumably whatever magic ammo you want to use, or normal ammo.
Okay, then it's a gun. I would argue it's a gun.
It has kickback, raising, repeating, and a volley of 20 feet. So that means you can't shoot people closer to you. So you gotta be like 10 feet away from people to shoot them.
Oh, right. That's a nice backup character. That. Anyway.
Kid, you can't come up here and then yell at me because I'm not holding you right. That's not how this works.
I mean, you say he can't, but he seems pretty capable of doing that.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's just a pepper box. That's fine.
Just supersized
Yeah.
to like 2. Because it requires 2 hands to hold. It's 3 bulk.
The
If a pepper box and a blunderbuss had a love child.
the layout of the barrels bothers me so much.
Why?
Because it's 7 barrels in a circle, which makes no sense, and then 1 in the middle. Like, there's no symmetry to it whatsoever.
Yeah. It is an orcish weapon, so.
You need symmetry.
It's also clearly not drawn by a draftsman because every intersection of parts has a piece of the gun on a different plane. The
Yeah.
muzzle is one plane where the barrels connect to the handle is another plane.
I feel like I shouldn't talk too much because I'm also terrible at drawing guns, but that's why I try to avoid drawing guns, because I know I'm so bad at it. And those things do bother me. Like, it's not drafted cleanly.
What's the thing people are saying nowadays? My specific type of of ADHD makes me love guns.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone has their.
The thing that they
Focus.
know way too much information about that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mine is guns. Mine is guns for some reason.
I have many of those things.
Mine was WoW lore, so I gave that up.
Sure.
For me, about half of those things fall under biology that nobody cares about.
Jeez,
Jonas-
forget it, Jared. You're a geek.
I
care
am.
about biology. I'll gladly
Hey,
listen. I just won't understand half of it.
Did you guys know that we scientists finally got their first images of a live colossal squid?
I
Did you bring
did.
it up?
I keep looking for it, and no one will actually show me the fucking footage. It's frustrating.
I just saw some of that footage. Hank Green has a short, or
Does he?
Yeah.
with it involved. Like, I think it was Hank Green. Oh no, it was Kyle Hill. Kyle Hill has some
Because
actually
it's
showing footage.
yeah, it's still a baby, right? So it's not actually colossally sized yet.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
a foot long.
Yeah,
Oh, God
and
damn
it's
it.
glassy and transparent.
He's a baby.
Does not count.
Does not count.
It does count because it is old enough for us to be able to pick out all of the physical morphology that identifies it as a colossal squid.
Also, someone said my name like 2 minutes ago, but then said nothing.
Oh yeah, it's because
That's like-
conversation was happening.
Like,
Oh,
I get the... From a scientific standpoint, yes, that's a big achievement, right? But the way it has been marketed is fucking bullshit. Like,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
news's fault, not the scientists.
yeah, I'm not blaming the scientists. I'm just saying. It's fucking bullshit.
Like the whole dire wolf thing.
Yep.
Jeremy Wade did a huge old shebang extravaganza of... I love Jeremy Wade, by the way. Of, I'm going to be one of the first people allowed to catch one of these fantastic, amazing six-gilled shark. And he catches like a 4-month-old baby. And they're like, yay, that's exactly what we wanted. Cool, tag it, throw it back in the water. And it's just like, that was a 50-minute build-up.
Oh, the one when he was in Australia.
Yeah, it's like, I want to see the goddamn big shark. It's like, that's why I'm here.
That I get because like there's one super rare, like he's like one of 6 people who's held one.
Right.
So
But that's
It's
not
also, like,
how
really
they
new.
that's not how they portray it,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
my argument. If he had been like, we're gonna go catch one of these baby sharks because they're super rare, I would have been on board and I still would have watched it.
Mhm.
But no.
And I think that's probably less him and more studio producers of Animal Planets or slash Discovery
Sure.
wanting to hype it up a bit to get people watching. I would have watched it anyways because like
That's what I'm saying, yeah. I would have watched it anyways. They gotta they gotta sensationalize it and it makes me mad.
Yeah,
I will always respect Jeremy Wade for his reasoning for ending river monsters. He caught everything.
Yeah.
he got all that he wanted to catch.
There is I think the issue I have with I keep seeing the news feed that says like, oh, colossal squid finally caught on tape, and I'm like, hot damn, I want to see it. And they keep hiding it because it's the same people that keep sending me things of like strange giant-eyed monster found in the Amazon. You click on it, it's like, we found a new type of gecko. And it's like, great. That's not what the title said. It's like
No,
Right? No, I completely
million-footed
understand that
creature
frustration.
destroying blah blah blah. Oh yeah, we found a new kind of bug. It's like, great. This
And,
butterfly.
okay, yeah, the footage of the colossal squid is... I mean, it's a baby transparent squid just kind of swimming by.
I want to see a goddamn whale fighting a squid. They say it happens. We've seen the devastation. I want to see it fucking happen. That's
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I agree, like the sensationalization, the headlines are all going to make it seem like, oh yeah, we got a squid fighting a whale, and it's like, no you didn't. Please stop lying.
Like, when you have that, bring it back to me. Otherwise, come here and tell me, hey, I got a baby giant squid on camera. It's like, hey, that's cool. Show me that.
Right? Yeah, you don't need to lie about
I
it.
don't need to lie about it. Like, I'm interested in that stuff too.
I'm just thinking is that it's like, why are you lying? Meme. I was like, yep. Why are you lying, bro?
Especially since if you say that it's a baby thing and that it's actually way cuter than anybody thought it would be, like that's gonna get you just as many clicks.
Yep.
I think I'm done. I don't want to do that. I was trying to make her holding her skirts up so she's running just like bah! But I've lost the plot.
It was a little bit of a rough prompt.
Yeah. They had a lot of like character detail which I didn't read too, and it's just like because that's not usually what I do.
Yep.
But forcing a pose, forcing a emote. Give her some pencils in her hair. She needs a wand, probably. Should probably give her a wand. Maybe she's got a wand in her teeth.
Oh, like holding the toast,
Yeah.
like every late anime schoolgirl.
That's what they suggested. They essentially suggested a late anime schoolgirl running, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. It's tropey.
That's fan art.
Yep, it's fan art. It's tropey. I don't know how to make dresses look cooler. Fairy godmother probably wouldn't have a corset. Or would they?
Depends on what they're the fairy godmother of, I guess.
It would be like a ball gown, right? Which would go...
Well, most corsets are not external clothing, so she probably wouldn't have a visible corset, but probably would have a corset because stays and corsets are the thing women wore for chest support before bras.
Right.
And then some idiot said, hey, what if we make them too small and pull them too tight?
I have inappropriate things to say. I'm going to call it there.
Even then, most women did not over-tighten their corsets. Anyway, sorry. I've watched too much fashion history stuff.
Yeah. It's fair. It's fair. Fight Night Under the Sea. Yeah. Colossal squids are cool. Terrifying. Cool.
Under the sea.
The thing that I'm most terrified of the whaling, because we killed 90% of the whales, means that squids have gone, like... They should have grown rampant.
Yes.
I mean, they have.
Well, you think you'd see more of them. Like, I want to know what happened.
Well, it's just not the colossal squid. It's the humble squids.
Right. Yeah, you're right. The humble squid are also terrifying and slightly smaller.
Yeah,
Well, they're
so-
like a
so
tenth
the-
of the size, but
Yeah.
so they're smaller.
Like the thing is, Rook, is that everything in the ocean eats everything. So there were other things to keep the squids in check.
What the fuck else is eating the giant squids? That's what I want to know. All right.
Greenland sharks, probably.
Maybe.
Other giant squids, probably.
Could it's probably,
that's
probably
it.
is more squid.
The megalodon is clearly real, and that's what's keeping them in check.
Except
Kid, did you
Megalodon
pull the garbage
eats
bag
squid.
out of the garbage? Yeah.
Yeah, that toy lives in the Baja
What
region
is that?
of Mexico.
That makes me upset.
I've seen enough poorly made YouTube videos. to know
Yeah,
that-
I had to stop watching cryptid cryptid videos because they always just like, oh, giant squid found, and then it's like the exact same stock footage, and it's like, this is not new, this is 30 years old, I don't know what you mean by just discovered.
Probably from the Monster Quest
Yep.
TV show that
Exactly.
they had.
Yep.
Probably. Also, Corvus, you when you paused after saying Baja, my brain auto-corrected, and I thought that you were trying to say it probably lives in the Baja Blast, and I was...
No, I was trying to think of like what is it called? Like is it a bay, a gulf? It
The
ain't
Gulf of
peninsula, 'cause
Baja.
that's-
That's a good question.
Gulf of Taco Bell. Alright, I'm gonna call it. There we are, we're done. I will put all these in the Discord for people to use on their home games or whatever they want. Go for it. Thanks for the suggestions this week. It was fun. Thanks for letting me deal with the kiddo. Wednesday was rough. Today was pretty chill, even though he just took everything out of the garbage. So I'll have to go deal with that. The game is working again, which is good. So
Yay.
I'm going to try to actually get the... today I'm going to work on the, like, game over, you've succeeded thing. And then I'm going to send out some packages to people that want to playtest the game. So if you do want to playtest the game, just let me know in Discord. I'll send you a little package and dick around with it. Otherwise, that's all I got. So, thanks again for all your cool suggestions. Thanks for hanging out and chat. Go watch some videos. Throw some comments and some likes. Some of the YouTube short I posted yesterday did horrible. So I will not be posting anything at 7 a.m. anymore. So go check that out if you haven't seen that. Go throw some super chat likes at it. I think you can super chat shorts. I assume that would make me get more views, but whatever. I don't know.
Did you post it directly from Twitch? Because apparently that always does poorly.
No. I mean, it's in stream notifications. It's on YouTube. Yeah. It was just a puppet. 15 ferrets in a trench coat.
I need healing.
Nobody saw it. Literally nobody saw it. Don't know what happened. Thank you for the drink your water. I will do that as soon as I go get more water. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Next week is May. Somewhere in the middle of May, I'm going to have people in town, so we might not have a stream that week, but I don't know. So we'll keep that posted. Next week should be normal. I'll post another suggestion thread on Monday. Keep your eyes out for that, and we'll catch you later. Stay happy, stay healthy. Keep your dice on the table. Bye, everybody. Also, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I appreciate it.
No.